I built the entire continent of Africa in hardcore Minecraft, and I made some of the most insane designs I could think of. For some, I used entire structures like end cities and bastions. For some, I built some of the biggest farms in the game, like gold and emerald. And for others, I trapped dozens of the most dangerous mobs. This was by far the biggest mega project I've ever done. It took me over 160 hours to complete. It is so massive that I need 30 shulker boxes of dirt just for the outline. So I have to put this entire biome in my inventory. I used 7 fully enchanted shovels to break it all. We can start building Africa. That sounds so weird. For the location, I chose the middle of the biggest ocean I could find because the continent is just a big island. Filling this shape took me 9 hours, and I also want to fill it with stuff like diamonds, emeralds and amethyst. This is much bigger than I expected. There are 54 different countries that I had to make. I outlined them with the obsidian I got from breaking the end pillars, and yes, I play way too much Minecraft. I'll start with this one, and it's done. I'll build the easy ones first and then work my way up to the I regret choosing to make this video difficulty. There were 3 more tiny island countries that I finished in a few minutes. Now we can work on land, which means I can build up. I then finished the next 4 tiny land countries, then the next 4 slightly bigger land countries on which I put trees and tall cacti. These first 12 were baby difficulty. From now on, every build will be unique and much bigger. Here I want to bring a lush cave, so let's take one. I then flew to a lush cave and took it. Moss, clay, lily pads and azalea. Back to Africa, I didn't just copy the look because it was ugly, especially the trees, so I made them better and added flowers. Nice. I want to turn 14 into a superior flower forest, so I'm not only gonna take stuff from a flower forest, but also sunflowers, lilies of the valley that only grow in swamps, and flowery leaves. The design turned out pretty good. Small and colorful. Here I'll bring a shipwreck, and I found one in the ocean I was in. I'll just yoink this entire ship and place it in my country. It kinda reminds me of pirates. In this one I want a drowned outpost. I see it. Sorry dude, I need it more than you do. I destroyed the buildings and made a better looking version in Africa. With the first 16 countries finished, the very easy difficulty ends and the easy one begins. The materials and structures will be harder to find and I'll start including mobs. For number 17 I want a bigger, better ruined portal. So I flew thousands of blocks to find and destroy 2 of them. Back on the continent I made some daring design choices. It would be cool if the portal shape was a rhombus. Yeah, that's a fancy word. These countries are starting to get big. In this one I want to bring the rarest structure yet, a desert pyramid. 3 stacks of fireworks later I found it, put it in a shulker box and went back. I wanna make some changes. The towers will be buried beneath the sand and they'll be damaged, like a ruined desert pyramid. I think it's ruined enough. Number 19 will be the first country to have mobs. I'll make it a tropical fish aquarium. Don't be shy, I've got buckets for everyone. I also got some coral for the floor, built it, dumped everyone in and I had the most crowded pool ever. This thing is tiny. This one will be the Endermite country. To the end. That was a joke because there is no end, I destroyed it a long time ago. To the end city. I got some stone, shot some flowers, had a staring contest with some endermen and went back to the build. It was small, I enjoyed it. To get endermites I have to use lots of pearls, I think it's like 16 for 1. Look at that, it's Alfred. Stop attacking me, Alfred, I'm trying to give you friends. After all the pearls he had 4 buddies and number 20 was done. I think it's funny just how easy things are now. Later I'll have to find some of the rarest mobs in the game. Next I wanted to make a wandering trader country and he just spawned, so your name will be Alfred because this is the only name tag that I have. For the build I went into a cave and got the rarest material yet, lapis lazuli. For the rest of it I used sand, sandstone, blue glass and concrete. Here it is, the wandering trader kingdom. For the last easy country, I wanna do something chill. I'll make a warped forest biome. I went to the nether to get 2 shulker boxes of materials, then I remade it with fancier trees and more dense vegetation. Very blue and foresty, I approve. After 22 countries, we are moving to the medium difficulty. These are much bigger. I'll turn this one into pumpkin land, just tons and tons of pumpkins. So I went home to make a giant plantation. The countries were becoming harder very fast. I spent 4 hours to get enough. This is ridiculous and I love it. I included trees, a house and pumpkin dudes. It's weird, in a good way. This one will be the zombie country. It would look amazing with blocks from a stronghold. I took a lot of the mossy ones because they were the coolest. I made a ruined hut and tower on top of mostly stone. Now I need some zombies. Hey there Nolan, would you like a house? They need helmets so they don't burn in the sun. This Nolan just doesn't wanna take it. Dude, you're dying, take it to save your life. He made a choice. This country has a population of 2. On 25 I wanna put a giant terracotta hill, so we're going to the Badlands. The build was big enough for me to start using beacon buffs. After shish kebabbing a mountain and some of the sand, I had 4 full shulker boxes. I'll build it kinda like a sandwich with a dark color in the middle. It's the tallest one yet. I'll make this country the tree country. I'll put tons of them in it. I traveled to get every kind of tree from the overworld. Oak, birch, jungle, everything. This is a very special combination of blocks to build with. I did not keep their default designs. They're lame. I made them more 3D. It is cursed yet aesthetic. 27 is way bigger than everything else and I'll make it a frozen country. To the mountains! So I need ice, all types of ice and lots of snow. 3 hours of annihilating the peaks later, I had all of it. And I had some unique ideas for the build. I'll make some igloos which make sense, and I'll make some ice trees which doesn't make any sense but it looks nice. It would be sad if I didn't make snowman. The Christmas country is done. After 27 builds, we are reaching the hard difficulty. These are not only big but made of materials that are rare and difficult to get. I'll make this one almost entirely of amethyst. I first went into the caves I already explored and it was easy, but it was not enough. I'll try to explore the ocean floor for more, and future me can say that was a good idea. Every few hundred blocks I would find the cave system and the amethyst I was looking for. This inventory looks like I'm in creative mode. I built a giant rhombus-shaped amethyst mountain. This is an expensive country. A volcanic build sounds amazing and this is the perfect spot for it. So I went to the nether. The lava and netherrack were quick and easy, but the magma blocks were different. They're in small veins in weird crevices under the surface and most of the time under lava lakes. But after these time lapses of me breaking it, I had enough. We're gonna be making a volcano. I also put lava craters and magma blocks all over the build. Lava land is done. I'll turn this one into Skulk. And it was an interesting experience. I flew to an ancient city and got normal blocks, vines and sensors, no problem. But I will take the screamers, but every time I trigger one, there's a chance a warden will spawn. There's the big guy. This is getting more and more dangerous. I think I got enough. I'll leave. But not before asserting my dominance. Okay, see ya. The build was relaxing, except I had to mute the sound because of the screamers. Skulk is done and very loud. I wanna turn the big island on the side into a literal seed country. I will plant every seed type on it. I first used my own farms for wheat, melons and pumpkins, but I was missing carrots, beetroot and potatoes. Let's rob some villages. I mean, if you're not gonna eat them, then why have them? I bone milled the seeds for a while until I had 2 full shulker boxes. It's gonna look so cursed at the end. I can't say I built the island, more like fertilized the soil and planted on it. I even waited for them to grow. It looks interesting. I'm using stuff that is more and more rare, so for 32 I'll get coal. Tons and tons of coal. I traveled underwater, through caves, through underwater caves, including 2 huge lush ones to mine the blocks. We have a stupid amount of coal blocks to build with. In Africa, I added some trees, which again makes no sense, but were the only thing that can fit. I wanna make a light country with glowstone and shroom lights. So I went to the nether to get the shrooms first. There's only a few on every tree, so it took a while. Hey guys, are you okay? I am being ambushed by 20 Endermen. I'm not staying here. Now the glowstone, and in 30 minutes I had it. During the build I also added some yellow concrete and torches so it wouldn't be a 2-block thing. Behold, the great tree of light. I shall turn this one into the bone country. So we're back to the nether with another mission. Become an archaeologist. Parkour! Yeah, I'm a pro. Alright. I made a giant fossil of a dragon or something surrounded by soul sand, so it's kinda like the biome. But the most frustrating part was about to begin. We can't have a bone country without skeletons, so I'll lock them up in cages cause I don't want them to shoot me while I'm building other stuff. Here we go. Yeah, stay there. No. Oh, now there's a giant hole. Go in, please go in. We got one. I need a better strategy. I know you wanna hit me. Water trap. It's so much easier this way. I got a few more and the fossil country was done. Here I want a crimson biome, like the warped one from before but way bigger. Building it was simple. Other than some hoglings, everything went smooth and I made the better version of the crimson forest on my continent. Red and foresty. Nice. Here I'll bring a nether fortress. Let's see. There's one, but destroying it didn't go so well. I have to dodge blaze shots every 5 seconds. That's a wither skeleton. This is not fun. I suffered for 3 more hours, stealing a huge chunk from it, fighting skellies and getting netherwork. It's over, we can leave now. I wanna build a cross-shaped thing with like lava strings on top. Yeah, that sounds good. And it looks how it sounds. Before we start building the very hard ones, I wanna have some fun with the spider country. So I went to every spider spawner I knew of and collected 8 stacks. To begin the build, I covered it with glass to prevent them from crawling out. I want at least 10 of them. You'll be the first. Water is amazing at trapping things. What? Spiders can dance? I spent 2 nights acquiring citizens, then finished the cobweb. It looks horrible, but I wanted it. After 37 countries, we're moving up to the very hard difficulty. This will have the rarest mobs, rarest blocks and gigantic structures. And remember, there is a level above this. Here we have a small space that we will fill with turtles, 18 of them. I quickly got the eggs by feeding them seaweed, built them a beach, and the waiting began. Turtle eggs can take up to 10 hours to hatch, and I did not get lucky. There was one group that even after all the others were done was not even cracked. So I waited 8 hours to get my turtles. I knew I was gonna waste time, but the entire day? Come on. But yeah, it's finished. This will be the wither country. I want wither skeletons and wither roses. I first got some soul sand for the floor, then went to the skelly farm for some heads to summon the wither. The only way to get roses is if this guy kills a mob, so let's try. The pig, get the pig. Good job. Hey dude, how you doing? I think fish are better for this. Yes, I have the roses, time to die. I got rid of the wither with a few arrows, then went to Africa and built the country, adding some netherwort for more color. The only thing missing were the skeletons. Bobby, I built a country just for you. Sadly, he did not reach the portal. Bobby, no. Stay away. No, I almost saved him. After the tragic loss of Bobby, I made the walls around the path so all skeletons would be 100% safe and brought them in. A true wither society. I'll turn number 40 into an LA country, and because they're a super rare and hard to find mob, I wanna build it with super rare hard to find blocks like diamonds. And I did exactly that, explored caves and oceans for hours until I had enough for 10 blocks. This build will not take long. I made the country then set off to find the LA. They spawn in pillager outposts and mansions, so I flew for 18 minutes before I found one. I know you're holding prisoners. Ouch! I forgot they take like half my health with one hit. Vex are the worst, but they get countered by water, cause they float. There's crocodile heads emerging from the roof. After taking out the guards and shish kebabbing the mansion to look through every room, I found something. This is the LA holding cell. And it's empty. They're not guaranteed to spawn, so I had to go look for others. After another 2 very long trips to outposts, I still didn't find them. But I released a golem to play with the others, and after some more traveling, I finally saw them. You have no idea for how long I've been looking for you. Let's take care of these guys. And you're going to Africa. To get more, I make him dance, actually better than the spiders, and feed him amethyst. It's small but very valuable. Number 41 will be a mushroom country, a mob that's even more rare than LA. I spent 5 hours looking for that biome. I used more than a shulker box of fireworks. After all the searching, at least it's huge. We have plenty of cows and blocks. I got some mushroom trees in mycelium, transported them through the nether, and building was the chill part. I like it. Here I'll put a gigantic structure, a nether bastion. This one's good, let's take it. Whoops. Here we go. Now I have to fight an army. There's a bastion in my pocket. I made it the thickest, tallest thing on the continent. What scares me is we have much bigger things planned for this project. Here I'll put another gigantic structure, an end city. I'll take the first one I see. Here is the winner. These are the most annoying things in the game. When something like this happens, I just wait to fall. I got rid of the shulkers and then slowly stole the city. Let's do it. I didn't want to make it too simple, so I added roads and small end huts. This is the best looking one so far. This will be the Guardian country. I went to a temple from the same ocean as Africa, and the first thing I had to do is get rid of the 2 Elder Guardians. I'm sorry, but your debuff makes it impossible to break blocks. 1 down, both down. Even after that, getting the blocks was not gonna be simple. Not cool, go away. Again, really? Because Guardians spawn really fast, I had to mine while constantly being attacked. I can get out now. Building was no problem, a small minimalist aquarium. A problem was the 4 guardians I wanted in the aquarium. Leashes don't work on these guys, so I'll build a railway from here all the way to the temple. I'm building while getting nuked by 20 guardians. Can you get in? It works, we're good. I brought in 3 more, destroyed the rails, and it was done. Before we reach the hardest difficulty, I wanna have some fun. Here I'll combine the houses from one village. I went to the closest one and took their houses. These are the blocks, let's make something nice. I built a tiny mansion and tried to bring all the villagers in. It looks like you're the only one in this huge house, because I accidentally drowned the others. Good job! With 45 finished countries, we're moving all the way up to the I regret choosing to make this video difficulty. These builds are huge and made of tons of very rare blocks, and for some I'll need massive automatic farms. This one will be the redstone country. I'll make it almost entirely out of redstone, just stupid quantities of it. So I started my journey into the caves. Both dry and underwater, I got every red block I saw, including 3 giant caves. Here's the 70 plus mobs I had to deal with. 2 hours later, I looked at my inventory. 4 stacks. We need 6 times more. All I did that entire real-life day was explore caves. I found more than 15 huge ones and mined more redstone in one sitting than probably anyone ever. If I showed you all of it, we'd be here for a full 3 minutes, but here's some time lapses. This is enough. It has to be. I can't do this anymore. For the build, I did some redstone trees and added a bit of red concrete for texture, and I barely managed to finish it. It took so long, but it's so ugly. But it's there. This is the second largest country in Africa and I'll turn it into a mega jungle biome. We're gonna need a lot. I traveled to a jungle and decimated the forest. I got 3 shulker boxes of trees. Let's start the build. I put in the effort to make the trees and terrain look as stylish as I could. This is not finished, it needs more stuff. I got a ton of bamboo from forests, a ton of melons from my comically big farm, and bone meal from my chests. We're gonna make this thing look amazing. I filled almost every block with stuff. No wasted space. The last thing I want here are animals. Pandas cause I like them. Welcome to your own huge country, have fun. And a parrot, even though it will probably fly away. You have fun too. The jungle is finished. Number 48 will be made out of copper, and if I mine for it, it would take 100 hours, so we'll need a farm. And the one powerful enough for my build was not simple. I needed lots of bamboo for scaffolding, lots of iron for the hoppers, and a ton of oddly specific items like warped wood fenced gates, note blocks, and glowstone. This is everything, let's do it. Building these kinds of farms is frustrating because if you put one block too low, you might have to remake the whole thing. I made a platform one block too high and had to destroy half of it and rebuild it. Let's start it with a zombie. And it works. I AFK'd for 16 hours and had all the copper in the world, but if I didn't wax it, it would turn ugly, so I needed a giant bee farm. Bees eat flowers, so we need many. I never imagined I would spend that much time getting flowers. I then took the few bees that I had, went in the nether, that's because it doesn't rain there and they won't take breaks, and fed them until I had 25 times more to get the wax. This really looks like creative mode inventory. The build was simple. I added some copper trees. Trees are the best. It looks good and shiny. This one will be Slime City. I'll build it with thousands of blocks. The automatic farm for it was very special. We need to dig very deep because slime can spawn above Y level 40. I used 4 fully enchanted pickaxes just for the outline of the build. So the material list is very interesting. First I got iron for the 16 golems and hoppers, then so much obsidian that I had to build a beacon in a cave, glow lichen, and tons and tons and tons of mushrooms. I've been finding them in the nether, but I did a Google search and I could have just bone mealed a mushroom. So I bone mealed mushrooms until I had enough. The farm normally has 1 layer, but I'll need 4. After 3 hours of making both the overworld and nether parts, it was finished and I wanted to test it. I'll AFK here for a while and see how much slime we get, but almost nothing spawned. I forgot about all the mobs from the caves around the farm. There is a limit to how many entities can exist at the same time, so I had to prevent all the zombies, creepers, skellies and spiders from spawning. I'll use this to light the ground and every single cave on a 200 block radius around the farm to make it work. Welcome to my life for the next 6 hours. I went into every dent in the ground and filled them with hundreds and hundreds of torches. I did everything. I'll AFK while I go to sleep and hopefully tomorrow I'll have 50,000 slime balls. How many? Yes, this is perfect. I finally went to Africa and used all the blocks I worked so hard for. I made a few giant slime to make it look impressive. I like it. And I'm so happy it's over. Now it's time to build a country that's even harder, the iron one. And there's no way we can do it without a farm. The material list was basic, a ton of iron for the iron farm, yes, ironic, and some sand for the glass. I liked building, it was a big yet simple design. But here start the problems. I had to bring zombies and villagers in the pods. I first let them have babies until I had a lot, then transported them on huge platforms using beds to make them go where I wanted. It was tedious. Bro, that's the wrong way. I forgot to sleep. Amazing. You're almost there, buddy. Come on, surprise iron golem spawn attack? You are terrible at walking. Just saying. I was so tired in the end that I left the farm unfinished, went to sleep and started AFKing. When I came back, this is just enough. Nice. I made trees because I like adding trees to everything and small huts for the golems. It's like a mini Iron City. Good job me. I'll build this giant country with honey, incredible amounts of honey. I need to get 8 times more bees in our bee farm, so I need over 4,000 flowers. Forest after forest after forest, I took everything that can feed my honey makers. When you look at this, you have to ask, why? And I answer, because I wanna make Africa. I went to the Nether and spent a real-life day expanding my bee army, kinda because I made an oopsie. How did you get here? Gotta leave. I hit a bee. They all hate me now. Out, 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 out. If they sting me, they die. So we lost like half the population. I wasted 3 hours in 3 minutes. After a lot of shearing and bottling, I eventually got the right quantity and made the country. The design was like the others, but bigger, better, more yellow with more bees. So far, this one is my favorite. We have 3 more countries and my biggest mega project will be finished. I'll make 52 the Emerald City. I did have an automatic emerald farm, but it wasn't big enough, so I had to destroy it. TNT is useful and fun to use. Goodbye, old friend, I'll replace you with a better one. The materials for it were pretty easy to get, tons of redstone and lots of quartz. This will be by far the hardest farm I've ever built. It had huge, extremely complicated redstone parts that had to be built to perfection or everything will break. Plus very specific coordinates for the villager pods and super precise ways to make the villagers go in the pods. The tutorial for this farm from Shulkercraft has almost 40 minutes and took me 6 hours to build. Let's get Bad Omen. Okay, and we can test it. Funny story, at this point my computer has been running for 6 days straight because of all the AFKing I was doing. The chests are too full, it worked too well. Back to the project, I made the Emerald Country more original with a giant tower in the center and some smaller huts. No trees this time. It's kinda weird, but in a good way. This is the biggest country in Africa and will make it from gold. That means I have to build the farm. The automatic gold farm I wanted is 5 times bigger than the emerald one. I blew up my tiny old one to make some space and started gathering the materials. A ton of sand for a ton of glass, 10 stacks of obsidian because it was gonna need a lot of portals, and 7 shulker boxes full of magma blocks. I'll show you as many clips as I can of me getting them. It was like 120 veins, plus all the building blocks, honey, slime, redstone and many others. 18 boxes of materials for one farm. Let's do it. Assembling this monstrosity took me a day and a half. It had both a nether and an overworld part and it uses a weird boat portal system to catch the pigs. The mountain of chests for the items doesn't need explaining. I finally get to test it. Okay, they're coming. This is so many pigs, what is happening? I AFK'd for a few hours and was more than ready to build the country. I made a huge golden mansion in the center surrounded by trees and piles of gold. The best way I can describe it is priceless. The last country will be a raid country. I'll somehow trap 20 or so raiders in here. I wanted a woodland mansion look, so I went to a forest and got a lot of dark oak, then some stone, then some birch planks. For the design I made a tower, a cage and some fenced areas. Now let's get some citizens. I first built a railway to the nearest village, then brought in a villager from somewhere else because I kidnapped everyone a while ago. Okay, now I need Bad Omen. So I went to the nearest villager outpost, which was a few thousand blocks away, got the buff and the raid began. Oh no, I am weak and defenseless, come get me through this suspiciously placed minecart. There you go. Do you fit? I don't know how, but nice. Welcome to your own country. Can you get out? Now? Now? I can't break the minecart, you're too fat. Oh, what if... I'm smart. I did the same thing with 4 raids. Is that hero of the village? I finished the raid by kidnapping all the raiders. This is amazing. Can he do it? I believe in you. I believe in you. Hey, you're a hero, dude. After I filled the fences, the continent was finished. It doesn't look real, it looks like a dream. 161 hours of building led to this, a Minecraft remake of Africa. I gotta say, thanks for watching this video and all my suffering, and hopefully my next one will be a bit smaller.